Welcome to all my Bad Teddy Bear strikers out there. Welcome to Bad Teddy Bear Strikers series, where we rationalize MMA striking and try to increase our probability of landing our techniques. Welcome to the lead hand series. Today we're going to be talking about an interesting way to create an opening for the jab to the body. This approach is quite sneaky and almost impossible to defend, even if the setup wasn't perfect. Now, this concept has a 90% probability of success rate, therefore it is highly recommended that you guys use it. So without further ado, let's get into this. Let's call this the slap to a belly rub jab. It is a loose hook to a jab to the body variation which allows us to easily attack the body without putting ourselves in an unnecessary compromised position. Now, it is also a great combination starter. So rule number one, get into the correct range. The great thing about this combinational concept is that it can be initiated from almost any range, but a general rule that I would personally prescribe is that your lead hand is able and capable of touching your opponent's lead hand. Rule number two, set a precedent. Now, unlike the earlier concepts where we try to familiarize our opponent to a specific technique before bamboozling them, with this concept we want to create a shock reaction. So therefore, instead of feeding them the actual technique that we're going to reinitiate with, we're going to pump the straight jab a few times instead. This will make sure that they do not expect the lead hook. So rule number three, anticipation. After throwing the jabs a few times, it does not only allow us to test the range and create momentum, but also provide us valuable feedback of the opponent's reaction and moving patterns. It also will give us a little bit of a head up of how responsive or susceptible the opponent is going to be towards that hook. Rule number four, position. Now that we have gotten enough information, it is time for us to position ourselves for the actual attack. Now, while maintaining the correct range, you want to make sure that your back foot is constantly ready to double push off like you would with a double jab. Coming to rule number five, which is timing. The correct timing for this exact execution to have the highest possible effect is when your opponent is either standing still or slightly retracting. Now, for the actual execution, which is rule number six, technique. Assuming that we're now in the position and range we need to be in, it is time to execute the actual technique. First, we're going to initiate the first push off with the back leg into a side step, which is the loose hook. Once the hook reaches the target, we're going to immediately re-step directly in between our opponent's legs while dropping levels and slightly tilting our head to the right side outside of the line of fire as we initiate the jab to the body. The angle of the jab to the body should aim to be at a 90-degree angle in order to create more leverage for power instead of just shooting the jab straight. Now, why do we step to the side instead of stepping directly straight? It's because the side step is going to motivate your opponent to move to your right side while helping you evade any possible simultaneous attack that might come your way. Next question, why drop levels while tilting the head to the right side when initiating the jab to the body? Well, this is because it ensures that you won't be in direct line of fire if the opponent decided to attack you with a jab or a hook, which are 95% the most likely attack to follow if they decided to react with a counter right after your own attack. And finally, rule number seven, which is speed. To all my ninjas who already know at this point, speed kills, and with this concept it is even more the case, especially the first hook, which must be super fast and loose in order to create that initial shock value to motivate your opponent to tighten up their guard on top, and for you to be able to maneuver your lead hand back slightly an inch in order to re-attack. So add the speed to it to create a lot of confusion. Alright ninjas, there you guys have it. If you guys like the content, consider subscribing, hit that like button and comment your thoughts below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bad Teddy Bear out.